Hello there, Gemini. Thank you so much for stopping by for your weekly tarot video forecast. This forecast is for the week of September 30th through October 6th. For those of you that these cards bring up any questions that you would like us to look more deeply at, or if you have something that you're trying to make a decision on that you could use some spiritual insight on, I do offer private readings. You can find out about those on my website, and the best way to get booked for one of those is just to contact me, and we'll get you scheduled and taken care of quickly. All my contact information is on the website below, and if you're in the United States, you can just call me or text me. If you're outside the United States, call me or text me on Skype. Let's see what comes up. Okay, Geminis, we have your cards down. Let's just see what we have here. For Monday, what you have showing up is the Moon card, and this is in my Shadowscapes tarot deck. The Moon card for me is different in this deck than it is in any other deck. So what we actually have here is the idea that you are taking off your mask. Now, to describe that in a more full way, many of us wear masks in life, and we use those masks to conceal from people those things that we don't think that they would be able to accept very well about ourselves. And so a lot of times we don't show our true selves to the people around us because we just are not sure that they would accept what we would show them if we did that. So when this card shows up on Monday, what this means, Gemini, is that there's somebody in your life that you're willing to show your true self with, and you're taking off the mask. You're telling them how you really feel about things. You're showing them the inner workings of your heart and your being. Okay? So taking off the mask for somebody on Monday. All right, Tuesday, Geminis. We have the Justice card in reverse. I'm getting a little bit of a different reading off of here than what I normally do. Gemini, this card says that on Tuesday you're being really hard on somebody who's in your sphere of influence. Much harder than they deserve. I don't think I've ever had a message like that come through, and I'm sorry. Sorry to be the one to deliver this message, but I do have an agreement with Sacred Spirit that whatever comes through, I pass along because I want him to see me as trustworthy with these messages, and I want to keep sending me messages that are going to help people move forward productively in their lives. So if I don't honor that agreement with him, then what reason does he have to trust me with messages if I'm not really going to pass them along the way he sends them through? So you want to be aware on Tuesday. You want to be paying attention to what's going on and to your perspective about things. And you want to try to be aware when you may be jumping to conclusions or being harder on somebody than what they really deserve. However, that could possibly happen, whether it's somebody coming to you with a story about somebody and you automatically believe it without questioning and hearing their side of things, or whether it's that you just walk in the middle of a situation and you think you know exactly what's going on because of what's in front of you in that moment, or whatever the case may be. You want to make sure that you've got all the information before you decide who you're upset with and why you're upset with them. Okay? So that's for Tuesday, Gemini. Wednesday, what you guys have coming up is the Fool in reverse. And the Fool in reverse is just telling me that there is something that you began in the past that was basically a leap of faith. There wasn't maybe really a lot of logical reasons to back up why you might begin this new thing. And this new thing isn't so new anymore. You're starting to see that it's taking some energy and effort to keep it going. It doesn't have all the glitter on it that a brand new Christmas present used to when we were 5 years old anymore. It's not as exciting as it used to be. It's getting to be a little bit more humdrum, and it feels like more effort to put into it and less fun to put into it to keep it going forward. And so I think on Wednesday you're kind of questioning, do I still want to keep this moving forward? Is there really any benefit to continuing on with this thing, or has this thing served its purpose? And I think what you're deciding with the Fool coming up in reverse is that you are absolutely continuing to move forward with this thing. You're deciding that after some consideration, you're deciding that yes, it would be silly not to continue to move forward with this. Okay? Now, Thursday, we do have the Knight of Pentacles. And the Knight of Pentacles talks about taking action to move things forward, even though it might be slow action. Okay? So this can be something like, you know, in a relationship, moving things forward, or in a relationship talking about reiterating, you know, hey, I want to really take our time here. I want to take things slow. I want to set the foundation right. And the other way that this can be coming up, and I think that for more of you, it's coming up as a more financial type of meaning, which is that you're doing what it takes to make sure your budget does what it needs to do. So you could be writing out your bills on Thursday. You could be, or I don't know, maybe people don't write out bills like they used to. Maybe you're just, you know, going online and paying your bills. Maybe you are making sure you're doing what you need to make sure the money's coming in on Thursday. Maybe you are avoiding impulse buying because you want your budget to do what it needs to do. But basically you're taking care of your budget moving forward on Thursday. For those of you that this is not about moving slow in a relationship. For some of you it's going to be both. Okay? Now let's look at Friday, Gemini. Friday. Ten of Swords in reverse. This is my card that says, it's not over. That's when I know what I know when I look at this card. It's not over. A lot of times after a breakup, people will ask me, you know, are we going to get back together, or is this really over? When this card comes up in this position where it's upside down, it ain't over, baby. It is coming back to life. It's coming back out of the grave. All right? But in a more general reading, it could mean that about some kind of relationship that's coming back to life. But it also can be about something, and usually, by the way, if this is a relationship coming back to life, this has been a very troubled relationship. It's one that maybe you would be better off if it didn't come back to life. Because the more general meaning of this card is that some kind of tension, some kind of debate, some kind of stress is coming back up. This is going to be about an argument that you thought was settled and done and dead and put in the ground. And all of a sudden it rears its head again. And now you have to rehash that same argument all over again. That's the more general meaning of this. So this is about a tension that you thought was over, you thought you had relief from, coming back. And that's why I say, if this is a relationship that's coming back, this is probably a relationship that caused you a lot of tension, that caused you a lot of stress. It was probably a lot more on the unhappiness making than on the happiness making scale. You may want to think twice if this is a relationship about how badly you really want it undead. Okay? And if it's not a relationship, you know, this is going to be an argument or a debate that you want to put back to bed again. You want to resolve whatever this is that's showing up and get that thing back in the ground. Nobody needs to carry around the kind of tension that a Ten of Swords brings. All right? Now, Saturday. Here you have the Empress showing up in reverse. Empress in reverse is just telling me that you're having a hard time focusing on the things that you actually want in your life and that you want to manifest, Geminis. You're thinking more about those things that you would rather not have in your life. You're thinking about those things that have gone wrong in relationships or that haven't gone right in business or whatever. And you're putting your focus on the things that have gone off the tracks. That's exactly how we manifest more of those things that have gone off the tracks. Okay, so advice when this card shows up like this is shift your focus. If you're focusing on the things that were disappointing to you or that were negative to you or were hurtful to you in some way, shift your focus because you don't want to manifest more of those things. So focus on things that were happiness making. Okay, that's the advice there. The way that card reads, you're focusing on the more negative things, and that draws in more of those things to you. So the advice whenever I see that card is always shift your focus. Try to see things in a good perspective. Try to see things in a good light. And if there's something that every time you look at it, you just can't see it in a good light, stop thinking about it. Stop looking at it. Think about something else. Think about that potted plant that's in your office and how beautiful it can be when it blooms. Think about how comfortable your pillow is when your head is on it. Think about how much you like the color of your blouse or your shirt. You know, anything but the negative stuff. Think about something that makes you happy or something that brings you satisfaction so that you can manifest more things that make you happy and more things that bring you satisfaction. Don't stay stuck on those disappointing things because you'll bring more disappointing things to you. Okay? That's the advice with that card. Now, looking at Sunday. Here what you have coming up, Gemini, is the High Priestess in reverse. High Priestess in reverse to me is all about confusion. This person doesn't know up from down. They don't know left from right. You've got some kind of situation going on in your life on Sunday that you're just like, what is going on here? I just don't understand. Maybe somebody is acting completely different than they normally do, or they're acting completely different than they told you they were. And this is causing a lot of confusion. It's causing you a hard time sorting out what is exactly happening. This is a great time to get a reading, by the way. Get some spirit insight. Because when this card comes in upside down, even those of you who read Geminis, this says that you can't even be objective enough to throw cards on it or cast runes on it and be able to interpret them correctly. There's no objectivity here. When this card comes up for me, I know I need a reading to sort things out because I'm lost. And usually I don't have to see this card to know that either. Just, by the way. And I doubt if you do either. So there's something that has you really confused on Sunday, Geminis. And if this is something that is important, I would recommend getting a reading. Whether you get a reading with me or whether you get a reading with another reader that, you know, you have a good track record with and you trust what they come back with for you, find some clarity. Because this is really utter confusion right here. So find some clarity from somebody who is more objective. Okay, that's what I would advise on that one. So anyway, those of you who would like to get a private reading with me, I do offer those by phone or by Skype. You can contact me at the contact information on the website below to get that scheduled and taken care of, and we will get you taken care of quickly. Everybody have a great week. Peace out.